In the southern part of Africa is the Kingdom of Eswatini, a small, breathtakingly beautiful country that prides itself in tourism and culture. Agriculture and forestry account for 8.8% of Eswatini's GDP, with the agricultural sector employing over 70% of the population by 2019. With a population of over 1 million, 58.9% of Swazis live below the poverty rate line.
77% of Swazis rely primarily on subsistence farming for their livelihood. In the south of Eswatini is the scenic Shiselweni regions that harbor the Ngwane Teachers College, an epitome institution that grooms educators. In the institution is Team Inectas Ngwane College, formed of 10 members that strives towards the betterments of the Shiselweni region and the country at large. Representing the team is
Nene Ndebo,
and I am Moses Mandimakulu.
Today's presentation is a highlight of Project
Constructive Destruction
that is focused on eradicating invasive plants. Food security is the amount of food that Eswatini should produce or make available to all people at all times, physical and economically, in order for them to meet their dietary needs so they can survive, be productive and healthy.
In the world with 7 billion people, 10% is food insecure, as 2 billion people experience severe hunger. And Eswatini is not an exception, as 15% of the population requires food aid, thus underscoring the immense challenge of achieving the zero hunger target by 2030.
This threat to food security has many factors contributing to it. Over the years, large oil companies have been producing raw bio-oil from food crops, thus inhibiting the implementation of goal number 12. The uncontrollable spread of invasive plants is also a threat to food security because it affects agricultural productivity. This has led to major shifts in the way in which food is produced, distributed, and consumed worldwide. In Eswatini, 205,000 people in rural areas were food insecure by September 2019. These Swazis could provide for themselves through agriculture, but 17% of the globe is vulnerable to invasive plants that cover hectares and hectares of land, making it hard for Swazis to grow crops and rear cattle.
What is our solution to this? Our solution to the uncontrollable spread of invasive plant that threatens food security is activated carbon, which is simply a bacteria Escherichia coli, E. coli, fixate onto a medium, maize canal. Activated carbon acts as an eradicator for invasive plant. How is activated carbon manufactured?
We put a bag full of maize kernels into a sewage for 7 days to allow for the absorption of E. coli. When E. coli fixate into the medium, it becomes activated carbon. We dig activated carbon 10 centimeters into the ground, 1 meter apart from one another. The activated carbon launches and attack on the root cells of the invasive plant, thus inhibiting the growth of the invasive plant, causing the plant to have stunted growth. The plant withers, wilts, and eventually dies. Activated carbon also encourages grass growth and the growth of native plants. This is a process that takes 90 days to be implemented. So, as the invasive plants slowly die, what do we do in the meantime?
We have discussed the possibility that we can extract oil from this invasive plant. But what oil could this be? And how effective it is? We did some research and tests with the help of Inectas Faculty of Health Science and found that this raw bio-oil has health benefit. This oil and hydrosol act as an anti-inflammatory, antifungal, and antioxidant, amongst many more. Lippia Javanica oil treats respiratory disease like chronic cough, influenza, common cold, and amongst many more.
Lantana camara oil and hydrosol heals dermatological diseases. Cromolina odorata is widely used for its wound healing and pain relief properties, preventing diabetes and curing ulcers. Cromolina odorata oils maintain heart health and the health of the respiratory system. With all these respiratory healing properties that these oils carry, we are waiting for results as we have tested if our oils and hydrosols cannot contribute to the treatment of the symptoms of the COVID-19 virus. We have decided to go ahead with the extraction of raw bio-oil from invasive plants using a simple mechanism that we designed ourselves.
This oil extraction mechanism consists of a stove, pressure cooker, coiled copper pipe, condensation bucket, separating funnel, plastic tube, syringe, and a beaker set. all amounting to $94. In a hectare of a land invested by invasive plant, oil produced is 27 liters in 1 month. The cost of producing 10 mils of each oil is $0.75, with the selling price ranging between $5 to $7 in a month, making sales of over $12,000.
The Shiselweni region takes part in the plantation of forestry. When you look down deeper into the forest greens, you will notice that the forests themselves are competing with invasive plants for their survival. How much more land that has strictly been reserved for crop growth and grazing of cargo. Due to social responsibility, we took our project to Makosini, having heard of their complaints on invasive plants.
We started a project against the invasive plants in Makosini to reclaim their land that has been covered by invasive plants. With our help, the people of Makosini has managed to cut down invasive plants and clearing 7.6 hectares of land through cutting and digging activated carbon into the ground. Having taught the people of Makosini how to eradicate invasive plants, they now freely plow and graze their cattle without having a worry about invasive plants. They produce enough food, which means that part of Eswatini can feed herself, contributing to goal number 2 of SDGs.
While reclaiming more land and producing more oils and hydrosols with the Makosini community, we shared business concepts, we gave agricultural insight, and we imparted our entrepreneurial knowledge to them. Moving a step further, we imparted the same skills to Ms. Tinhlangano, who has a small handicraft business of recycling newspapers and catalogs to make flower pots and side lamps. Since she is our beneficiary, we decided to use her in helping the people of Makosini diversify into handcraft skills while they produce oil. We have also imparted entrepreneurial skills to the vendors of Mafuteni that sell fruits and vegetables, as well as the small-scale vendors at Sekhohlangano under the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade.
This led to our 108 beneficiaries taking their small business serious, making an ample total income increase of over 100%, thus contributing to goal number 1 of the SDGs. Overall this year, we have indirectly impacted a total number of 864 lives.
It is worth mentioning that our product is for the export market, having engaged Swazi Secret into further processing our raw bio-oil locally. Swazi Secret is a company that is focused on producing a range of natural oils and cosmetics from Swazi indigenous crops for both import and export markets. Partnering with them is helping us to get some publicity and a market for our products soon, while helping us in test for the quality of our oils. Swazi Secret has exposed us to standard policies of raw bio-oil production and trade.
Having said that, we have engaged with Inectas William Peter College in terms of sharing our raw material with them. Our beneficiaries use the same invasive plants. William Peter uses the stem of the invasive plants for the production of charcoal, and we uses the leaves, the flowers, the soft branches of the plant, and producing oil from them. Having to share the raw material, William Peter exposes us to a goal number 17 of SDGs.
The common goal that both teams have, which is the eradication of invasive plants to clear agricultural land, contributes toward meeting goal number 2. The job opportunities created in the communities as we cut down these invasive plants, hiring the people in the communities to bring these invasive plants to us, contribute to meeting goal number 1 of the SDGs.
The community is working towards getting a big oil extraction plant so that they can extract more oil from this invasive plant. They are also planning on reaching more land infested by invasive plants so they can eradicate those invasive plants and reclaim that land. Not only in Eswatini, but in all countries invaded by non-native plants.
When they are done with eradicating invasive plants, they will diversify into planting and extracting oil from lavender, tea tree, lemongrass, cannabis, and eucalyptus. The team will not stop impacting entrepreneurship knowledge and skills to those who need them to make their small businesses a success.
Since we sat around the table and brainstormed ideas for this project, before we broke ourselves down to brain and muscle, from that moment until now, we have undergone immense growth that has been powered by Inectas Eswatini. We have achieved quite a lot and have gained the knowledge of a lifetime. We are young entrepreneurs that will continue to strive towards being the best of entrepreneurial frontliners. Together we are
Inectas Ngwane College.